Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be going over new makeup releases, whether or not I want to pick them up or just my thoughts on them. I used to kind of do these videos and then I stopped, but I figured with holiday season approaching, makeup releases are going to be just coming and coming and coming, that it would be fun to talk about them because I've been starting to purchase a little bit more. I stopped for a while, but now that I'm actually going to purchase things, I thought I would just share my opinions, talk about what I plan on picking up, and just talk about makeup releases in general. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet. But with all that, let's get started talking about all these releases. All right. So I'm gonna scoot over for pictures. I did already film this look. I filmed kind of like a chatty get ready with me for reaching 1,000 subscribers. Thank you all. It will be going up after this video, but it will be coming and everything that I'm wearing will be listed down in the description box below, as well as everything that I'm talking about today. So let's just first get started with the first thing, which I have is the Adept Cosmetics palette. And it's going to be $79, releasing September 1st. So it's already going to be out. And unfortunately, this is going to be a pass for me. I don't mind the palette, but you know, I do have to be selective with my purchases. I can't be purchasing everything. And this color story doesn't speak to me like some other palettes that are going to be releasing soon. So this one's going to be a pass. I do think Adept Cosmetics has a really nice formula. I recently talked about their Emmanuette palette. I like that palette a lot. I think it's really beginner friendly. So if you're just recently like getting into indie makeup, I would check them out, but this one's going to be a skip for me. This next one that I have, I don't know if it's considered really a new release, but I'm going to talk about it since I have it up. It is the Urban Decay Vice Lip Bond Glossy Longwear Liquid Lipstick, and they're doing a shade extension. I didn't even know that they had this out in the first place. It's supposed to be a long-wearing glossy liquid lipstick. So I think like House Labs came out with something like that where it was glossy and very transfer resistant, something like that. Not really something that I'm interested in. And quite honestly, Urban Decay's fallen off the bandwagon for me a little bit. I am actually wearing their foundation today, spoiler, but their eye products, their lip products, like nothing's really been jumping out at me. That new Urban Decay Naked palette, the metal one, like no. So I think this is an easy skip. Another shade extension, just get this out of the way, is the Persona Cosmetics. They're coming out with a new blush and a new bronzer. This I am actually intrigued by because I've had this on my list to purchase for quite some time. Things just kind of become more important, but I do want to pick this up. Now the shade they're coming out with in the bronzer is Mohive. Am I saying that right? I don't know. It looks a little bit deeper, more contoury than their current bronzer stick. And then the new blush that they're coming out with is Guava. Now, Guava, I don't think I'd pick up. I think out of the four, I like Bloom the most, but we'll just wait and see. It still is like not a top priority for me. Maybe if they have like a really good Black Friday sale, I would consider picking it up. But it's kind of one of those things that is going to be an add-on to a cart if I'm just like in a certain mood, unfortunately. I have heard that they have like a really great formula though. And unfortunately, I only have one face. So I want this, but I don't think I'll be picking it up. Next are some sneak peeks. So don't have a picture of the palette yet, but this is the Anastasia palette coming out for holiday called the Fall Romance. The outside of it looks very pretty. Now I do have the Nouveau. I did not pick up the, what was it? The Metal Roses. I did not pick that one up, and I did not pick up the Cosmos. The Cosmos does not interest me at all, quite honestly. The Rose one, I kind of like, I go back and forth on it all the time. Like, do I want this palette? Do I not? Realistically, I do not need this palette. but we'll see what the fall romance looks like inside. It says that it's going to be jewel toned metallics and rich neutral eyeshadows. If it's too deep of an eyeshadow palette for fall, that's usually what will stop me from picking up a palette. Like if I'm only going to be able to get sultry, smoky looks out of it, it doesn't appeal to like my skin tone, what I like in a makeup product. So that will be a pass for me. I'll have to keep you updated on what the inside of this looks like, but for now, I will say the outside is pretty. And the other sneak peek we have is from Hourglass for their holiday face palettes. I think everyone looks forward to these every single year. Last year, I picked up 2 of the 3. I picked up the butterfly and the elephant. So this year they're coming out with 4. We don't have the inside. And you know, unless these palettes have new shades in all of them, they usually do like a half and half split or something like that. I kind of think I'm over them. I have like 4 or 5 of these face palettes at this point, and for some reason I can't declutter them, but I also don't use them. So, you know, the elephant one was really, really good. That's definitely my favorite out of all the ones that I own, but I just can't buy this for the packaging alone when they're $80. If you know, money's relative. $80 is a lot to someone and it's nothing to someone else. I'm sure that this collection will do very well, but for me, I'm still on the fence. We'll see if I get knocked into buying this, but right now, my gut's telling me I don't need this and that there'll be other holiday releases that I'll like more than this. I will say though, the packaging, you know, they knock it out of the park. I really like the owl. I really like the snake. The jellyfish, meh, and like, is it a leopard or a cheetah? I don't know the difference, but that's also very pretty. Out of the 4, I'd probably pick up the snake if I was to choose one based on packaging alone. But for right now, I think I'm gonna hold strong, and I think that I'm gonna skip these palettes this year. That's my intention. We'll see if that actually happens. Now this collection, this I want this a lot. This is the new Gucci concealer. I have been holding off on Gucci and I've been telling myself like, no, you don't need this because it's Gucci. Like I already love Chanel luxury makeup, Dior luxury makeup. You know, I have the Valentino, the Prada. Like how much luxury makeup can I actually realistically use? But this Gucci one, this concealer, for some reason, it's getting me. I've been able to hold off on all of the beautiful packaging from Gucci so far, and this might be what breaks me. It's just been like concealer season. I have a video that I want to film. It should be coming up soon, but just doing concealer roundup of all the concealers that I've been collecting so far, like new ones like the Tom Ford, what do I have in there? The Flower Beauty. I have a ton of just like new concealers. And I kind of want this one too. This one's $36.50, comes in 40 shades. It's supposed to be hydrating, dries down without creasing, and pores stay soft all day. I might want to try this. The problem that I have and the type of person that I am is that if I get the concealer, I want the foundation to go with it to test it. So I don't know. I'm on the fence, but I think that this is going to be something that I pick up. I'm going to try and hold off on the foundation and just test the concealer. But as you can see, there's an internal struggle going on, and we'll just have to see what happens. You'll obviously see a video if I do pick it up, but I think for sure be picking up the concealer at least. I want the foundation eventually, the bronzer, the blush. Those are and a lipstick. I want one of those like very slim sheer lipsticks with the sunflowers on it. I want all that, but I'm gonna have to hold off on that. Maybe if I got like a gift card or something, I'd splurge, but concealer, yes. Rest of Gucci, I think is gonna have to hold off. In my mind, I was just thinking, I was trying to justify things and I was like, well, you could, Melissa, film a full face of Gucci, but I don't make the AdSense money enough to justify that video yet. So maybe that'll be coming. We'll just have to wait and see. The next palette that I have, Easy Pass, I saw it now, I scrolled past it instantly on Instagram. I had to go back to take a screenshot. This is the Kosas Undressed palette. It's a neutral palette, talc-free, and it is going to retail for $40, comes out September 2nd. Just no. I think, you know, I understand the fact that they're like expanding their just arsenal of beauty products, that Kosas doesn't really have too many eyeshadows that I'm even aware of, but Kosas is just a brand. If you've been around on my channel, I didn't have good luck with their customer service. I find their products expire really easily. I'm not the only one. I had their bronzer, it went bad in like 2 months. Customer service wouldn't do anything about it. So I'm just kind of over them as a brand. I wasn't going to try the new bronzer that came out or the blush. The only thing I currently own from them right now is the tinted face oil, which I really love, but I won't even repurchase that once it either goes bad or I use it up, whichever one comes first. I'm kind of just like over them as a whole. It's a pretty palette other than that, has a lot of light tones. I don't know if this would work well for anyone with a medium or deep skin tone. We probably all have these shades already, but again, like I understand that each makeup brand kind of has to have like their core products. So it's a smart release for them, but definitely not for me. This palette though, this palette I already bought, and this is gonna be my first purchase from this brand, and it is the Nomad Cosmetics Gold and Grit palette. I have been waiting and waiting and waiting patiently for Nomad Cosmetics to come out with a palette that spoke to me. They came out with the Royal Europe palette. I didn't really like that one. They came out with their neutral palette. I forgot the name of it, with like the faux animal fur print. You know which one I'm talking about. That one I was like, maybe, but I think there's gonna be better, and this one is it. I am so excited for this. First of all, I lived in Arizona for majority of my life, and so I can really relate to the destination. I love it. It's going to be $49. It came out on August 29th. As of today that I'm filming, my palette has shipped. It's going to take a little while because it's got to come all the way to France, but I'm very excited for this. And then I did also pick up one of their older palettes, the Fête de Provence, because that one just has special meaning to me, and I figured if I was gonna pay customs, do all that, like I'll pick up that palette. It's a very colorful palette, not a new palette. I'm going on a tangent here, but I used to be an au pair in Provence, in Aix-en-Provence. Fun fact about myself, when I was 19. So that one just kind of had special meaning to me, and I'm dipping my toes into color more, so I figured, what the heck, I got that one just for sentimental reasons. But this Golden Grit, I am very excited for. This next release, you'll have to let me know. And this one kind of makes me laugh. So everyone and their mom is coming out with these shadow sticks. Rare Beauty came out with theirs a little while ago, and now we have Fenty Beauty coming out with theirs. I'm looking on the Trend Mood website here, and they're saying that it's now available in Europe. And this is what makes me laugh, is because I live in Europe, and a lot of the times I see that and I'll be like, oh wow, okay, awesome. Like a brand actually released something in Europe before they released it in America. Let me go check that out. And I'll look and I won't be able to find it. And I'm pretty sure Trend Mood just does that to like make a joke out of us. Like I get it when they say like it's been released in Asian countries first. Like I don't doubt that, because there's some brands that do that. But every time I've seen it say in Europe available now, I can't find it. So I don't know where they're getting their information, but I can't find these shadow sticks, at least as of right now that I'm filming. So it's something I had to mention because I see that very often on Trend Mood, and I just wonder why she does it. I just wonder why. This next one is one that I picked up, and this, again, it says that it's available in Europe, and this one I was able to find. So maybe I should just not put my foot in my mouth, but I did actually already purchase this. This is the Shiseido, and what is this called? The Revitalescence Glow Foundation. It is, I think I paid 60 euros for it, and it is supposed to be a serum-like formula with buildable medium coverage, leaves skin with fresh luminosity for all skin types. I love foundation. I love doing foundation reviews. I actually have the Shiseido Self-Refreshing Skin Tint or is it a skin tint? I do have the skin tint. I did a review on that a long time ago. I'll link that video above. But I also have the foundation that I haven't tried. It's been unopened, and I've been meaning to do a foundation review on it. So I thought that I would get this one and do a battle between the two. So that's what I'm gonna do. I've already tested out the self-refreshing. I got all my bee footage. I'm waiting for this to ship. It said that it shipped, and then I'm gonna test this one out and put them up against each other and see which one's better for what skin type, etc. So make sure you're subscribed if that's a video that sounds good to you. But that's kind of what I was thinking, because they do have similar claims, but also different claims. And this one seems to be more skincare geared. And I'm usually a little leery when it comes to claims like that. So we're gonna see which one's better. And that's my plan for that. It is on its way to me. Now, going back to concealers, there's actually a few concealers in here. This one, again, available in Europe, but I have not seen it. So this is the Lancome Tinty Doll Ultra Wear Care and Glow Serum Concealer. This is supposed to come in 24 shades, and it's supposed to be hydrating with hyaluronic acid, ceramides, anti-aging peptides, yuzu extract for plumping. Skin is brighter, smoother, and clearer. Not interested. This is supposed to kind of go with their Lancome Tinty Doll Ultra Wear Care and Glow foundation that they came out with not too long ago. I did not try that foundation. The Tinty Doll line is not one that really I like, honestly. I did have the original formula before they reformulated it, and then they came out with this line. And I don't know, there's something about Lancome that's not really like my cup of tea. I kind of group Lancome, Estee Lauder, Clarins, those brands like all together, like just like those department store beauty counters. And if I had to rank them, like Lancome would be below Estee Lauder. Like I kind of gear more towards Estee Lauder more. There's already enough concealers that I want to get, I plan on getting. I want to get that Gucci concealer, and then that just brings us to the next one that I plan on getting, which is the YSL All Hours Creaseless Precise Angles Concealer. This one is $38, and I plan on picking that one up. That is why I can pass on the Lancome, 2 out of 3, not bad. So this is supposed to be full coverage, multi-use applicator with a soft natural matte finish. I usually do like a soft matte finish on my concealers. I don't like them too hydrating. I find it like just reflective on my under eyes, and it doesn't usually match my foundation that well. I'll usually powder it if it's just too hydrating. The only exception to that is the Givenchy concealer. Love that concealer, and it has just the right amount of hydration. But I do plan on picking this up, and I probably will be picking up the foundation as well, because I've never tried the foundation and I've heard really, really good things, and they've reformulated it a while ago, but I've never tried the foundation, and I will probably test that with this concealer once I can figure out when it comes out, because it just says coming soon. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. And the thing that really intrigues me about this is the doe foot applicator. It's kind of like a triangle, and they're showing in their pictures here that you can do like very precise lines with that. I think that's really unique and innovative. I don't know if other concealers have done that, but I'm very intrigued by that. Next on my list to talk about is something that I need everyone watching this video right now. I need you in the comments to tell me that I don't need this. This is the Cosmetics Pillow Plush Blush. And it just looks like one of those putty blushes, and I don't know why I want it, but I want it, and I don't need it. It's $26, comes in 2 shades, Peanut and Tickled. It is supposed to be a cushion texture, leaving a flush of matte color, pillowy and soft. Hybrid formula blends gel, cream, and powder, infused with ceramides, peptides, and vitamin E. I don't know why I want this so bad. Like, do I need this? This is something, Cosmetics is very difficult to get here in Europe. My mom is going to America. She's going in November. So this might be a product that I send to her to bring back to me. I don't know. I definitely would want the Tickled shade, I think, like the more pinky rather than the warmer kind of peachy bronze shade. But if you've tried this, please tell me that it's bad in the comments so I don't pick it up, because I really do not need another blush. My blush drawer is overflowing, but there's something about that. Cosmetics, their aesthetic is just so beautiful. It makes me want everything from them. So yeah, let me know if you think this is a worthwhile purchase, but I'm trying to hold strong on that. The next one, at least I know, is like a for sure pass. Like I didn't even have to think about it. Urban Decay, already went on my spiel about them, but they are re-releasing their liquid glitter eyeliner. Because at first I looked at this and I was like, don't they already have this? I don't know if they got rid of it or they reformulated it, but it's their liners, $25 each. And it's just very thin brush, so you can like add some sparkle everywhere, and supposed to be high impact. I didn't like these when they first came out, and I don't really like them now. It's just not something that like I use personally. I like shimmer, I like glitter, but I'm gonna put it all over the lid, not necessarily as a liner. I never wear liquid liner anyways, so it's just not my aesthetic, and it's definitely not something that I need. So that is an easy pass. The next thing I have is another indie palette, and this is from Beaute Bar. And similar to Nomad Cosmetics, I've been like waiting in the corner, just waiting for Beaute Bar to, first of all, come out with a smaller freaking palette, because their palettes, like their Pastel Gardens, their Smoky Glam, I really almost pulled the trigger on that one, were ginormous. They were like, what, 60 shades? It was just too much. It's too much. So I've been waiting for a smaller palette, and I've been waiting for a beautiful color story. And this one is everything I wanted. It is the Basic Witch palette, launching September 6th for $65. 9 mattes, 4 multi-chromes, and 2 duochromes. I'm for sure picking this up, for sure. So you can expect a review on this palette when it comes. I love the purples. I love the greens. I love everything about this palette. It's bright without being too bright. I think you can tone it down if you want to, if you don't want to like really go for color. I hope that Beaute Bar really sees how popular this palette is, as far as like being 15 pans versus 60, or I don't even remember how many shadows there were. I really wanted, like I said, that Smoky Glam. I loved that color story. It was just so ginormous. I had to just be realistic with myself that it was not a palette that I would actually use because it was so large. But this one is calling me, and I'm finally just gonna bite the bullet and pick this palette up. This will be a brand I haven't tried yet, so I'm very excited for that. Now, next up, this is a sneak peek from Unearthly Cosmetics. I also have not tried this indie brand, and I've also just been kind of like waiting and lurking in the corner. I lurk a lot, clearly. So this is a sneak peek for Unearthly Cosmetics, the Get Groovy collection. And I'm interested to see. There's going to be a highlighting duo, a palette, some liquid lipsticks, a lip gloss, looking at the sneak peek. And the color story just is like pink with clouds. Obviously, you're looking at the photo here, but it kind of looks outside of their normal tones, because they usually are pretty grungy. I'm hoping this is like light, bright, earthly, kind of just like fun, but we'll see, because we're going into fall. So I just have a hard time picturing them coming out with a palette that's kind of giving me like spring vibes in fall. So I'll keep you updated on what this palette ends up looking like. If it's something, I mean, Get Groovy, so I'm assuming it's going to still have bright colors, which would make sense for them as a brand. I'm just used to them having more very saturated, deep colors, which is what's been holding me off. I did almost consider the Don't Be Jelly palette, but I don't know, there was something about that just wasn't perfect for me. I only liked some of the shades, so I didn't end up getting that one, but I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out for this and seeing what the inside looks like. I'm excited for that. Now this is a fragrance, which not everyone's always excited about fragrance, but I kind of wanted to talk about it because it just made me laugh. And maybe it's just me and my brain, but this is the Ellis Brooklyn Apple Love Eau de Parfum. And I do have, you can see here, so I have 4 Ellis Brooklyn perfumes. I have Bee, Sunfruit, Vanilla Milk, and West. Vanilla Milk is definitely my favorite, followed by Bee, actually. I'm interested to see what this looks like. I like Ellis's Brooklyn aesthetic of having all the bottles the same, just looking different. I think it looks nice. That's part of why I have 4, and I don't find them too expensive. That's why I've just picked up a few of them. But what made me laugh about this is that this is supposedly available now in Europe, but clearly this is Apple Love is a love letter to NYC, the energy, sophistication, and headiness of this iconic city. Apple Love bursts with juicy, photorealistic apple and transitions to an ultra smooth blend of peach skin, plum blossom, sugarcane, and vanilla. I don't know. It just made me laugh because like you're releasing a perfume inspired by New York in Europe first. Like why wouldn't you make this like huge campaign and like launch it in New York first and like pass it out to people and do like a whole campaign like that? Am I the only one that thinks that way? I don't know. I just find that very weird. It's also very weird to me when French brands, specifically like Lancome, Prada, what was the other one that really just irritated the shit out of me? Chanel. They will launch things in the UK first or America first before France. And I don't know why. I think it's just because like I have a channel and I want to review things quickly. But it kind of bothers me that French-based brands will launch things outside of France first, but then in their marketing campaign, it's like, oh, exotic, romance, sophistication, like we're from France. But then like France is like the last to get it. I freaking hate that. Like, I don't know, but it's just a pet peeve of mine. Anyways, I just had to mention this fragrance because it kind of just made me chuckle. The next one is the Ofra Cosmetics collab with Ali Dawson. So this is the Falling in Love collection. It comes with a 5-pan eyeshadow palette as well as a liquid lip and a lip gloss. You know, I am wearing an Ofra Cosmetics highlight today, the Samantha March collab. I used to buy a lot from Ofra, but I talked about that in that video that you'll see coming up here. You know, Ofra's aesthetic just doesn't really appeal to me as much as before. I think that they were very heavily sponsored company just back in the day, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and they've kind of just like fallen off the wagon since their scandal. It isn't even just their scandal that doesn't make me want to buy their products. It's just like I was so caught up in the hype of the sponsored content that now I'm just kind of over it. On top of that, like, unfortunately, this is just not really a color story that I gravitate towards. It's not really a color story that I would use. Congratulations to Ali Dawson. Like, this is beautiful. This is stunning. It's just not for me. And I'm very happy for her. Like, what an honor to be able to have a collaboration. And normally I like to support collaborators, but you know, I also have to be able to use this, so it's just not something that I would use. If anything, I do like the liquid lipstick the most, which she named after her dogs. I love that, pulls on my heartstrings, love dogs, so maybe I'll pick up the liquid lipstick, but the eyeshadow palette's just really not for me. All right, a few more things to talk about and then we'll be done. Flower Beauty launched 2 more of their lights collection palettes, the 6 pans that are ginormous. So they did garden lights and they did coastal lights. Flower Beauty, just like M Cosmetics, is really difficult for me to pick up here in France. I do think that I'm going to pick these up because they look beautiful. Well, actually, the photos look bad. Flower Beauty, like, this is like a very computer generated photo. I don't know why they didn't come out with better photos, but I'm imagining that these look better in person, and once I see swatches, I'm gonna have to wait for swatches. Like I said, I won't be able to pick these up until November when my mom goes back to the States, but as of right now, I will probably purchase these unless people are just saying that they're not good, but as of right now, I do plan on picking them up. The next thing that I have is the Makeup Revolution collab with Grease. So everyone was really excited. They were sneak peeking this. I know a lot of people love Grease. You know, I do also love Grease, but I have 4 siblings. 3 of them are boys. And, you know, we kind of have like a voting system when it came to picking movies. And if you can imagine, I got outvoted a lot. So Grease is not just a movie that I have like a lot of pull with. It was one I really didn't watch that often. I think this is a cute collab. I can see people picking up pieces from this collection. If anything, I like the little jacket palettes, especially like the Pink Ladies, but I don't think I'll be picking this up. I'd only be picking it up for the packaging, and that's just not a good reason anymore. 5 years ago, I would have picked it up, no questions asked, for the packaging, but the Melissa now does not just do that, except for special occasions, So I think I'll be passing on this, but I can see, like, I think this was a good collab, a cute collab, and I think they did a good job. Hopefully the formula is good, but That's all I really have to say about that. Another thing I'll be passing on is this Chanel launch, which I do pass on some Chanel stuff, but this is the Sublimage, and this is going to be a liquid highlighter coming out in October. So the Sublimage line from Chanel is like their luxury line. They're already luxury makeup, and then they have like a luxury line on top of that for the extra bougie folks. I do have the Sublimage foundation. It's a really nice foundation. I like it a lot. Would I rebuy it today? I would not. I just think it's too expensive for what it is, but it is a nice foundation if you're willing to spend the money. This is a champagne shade inspired by semi-precious stones with a fresh 80% water formula, lightweight texture, vanilla fruit water it has. Oh, it keeps the skin supple, radiant, plump, and moist. I don't know who wrote this, but they did. And we don't have pricing yet, but it looks like people are estimating that this is going to be around 50 USD. I don't really like liquid highlighters. Out of everything, liquid highlighter is my least favorite. I like a powder highlight. It's just easier. It's not so messy. Like, highlight just doesn't have like glitter, but it has sparkle, and I don't want sparkle everywhere. So I will probably pass on this. I don't need it. There's other Chanel products that I would pick up over this, so not really high up on my list. And then the last thing that I have, I'm sure nobody's really heard of. I saw this late at night, last night actually, when I was looking for releases to talk about. And I was like, this is really just like out of left field. But then I bought it. So this is the Paco Rabanne Fresh Touch Foundation, available in 30 shades. This liquid foundation hydrates for up to 24 hours, enhances skin naturals beauty, and it's a lightweight and fresh texture. $40, available on their website, buildable light to medium coverage. I don't know what it is about this, but like, it might have just been that it was late and I felt like spending money, but like I said, I picked this up already. I'll be doing a foundation review, and it just was something that I was like, I didn't even know that Paco Rabanne sold beauty. I know that they sell fragrance. You know, they have like a very popular fragrance line. Their 1 million, I think, is their most famous or something like that. I do have a fragrance from them, not that one, but I don't know. It just took me, it caught me off guard, and something about it, the claims, I'm just interested. I like the packaging, so expect that review to be coming up. I don't know how many people are actually interested in this, but I'm going to give it a shot and see how it goes. And I think that is everything that I screenshotted. So that's all the new makeup releases. You'll have to let me know down below in the comments what you think, what you plan on picking up. Are you kind of just like waiting it out? Everyone kind of has like their own method on when making decisions for purchases, because, you know, this is just the start. We haven't even gone down the rabbit hole. So like, I don't really want to blow my budget for holiday, like right in the first go. I do want to keep it somewhat contained and not go crazy. So that just means like starting off slow, just kind of, you know, only picking out things here and there. Realistically, like, you know, these brands want to sell, so I'm not too worried about them selling out. I think that they'll have them for a while, you know, especially the Hourglass. They always like put pressure saying they're limited edition, but realistically, like they're available until early February. And February is just like a guess. They could even have them longer than that. So they say limited edition, but they're limited edition for a good amount of time. So don't stress about any of the purchases. Obviously, like keep your budget in mind. It's just makeup at the end of the day. Like only buy, you know, what you can afford to buy. Don't recommend anyone going into debt over makeup, but let me know your thought process on what you plan on picking up down below. Are you having a hard time deciding between products, or does nothing really just interest you? I'm kind of just really 50-50, but that's where I'm going to end this video and all this rambling. Please, again, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. We can just chat about new makeup releases. I'll probably be doing this, I think, every 2 weeks. I don't really want to do it every week. I don't think there's enough to talk about. So expect this video in the next 2 weeks. We'll see, hopefully, some of these sneak peeks come out. We can see what the Anastasia palette looks like, the Hourglass, etc. But that's where I'm going to leave you all. I hope you're having a great one, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.